Love sports? Love culture? Well, I've got a brand new podcast called Take Line from Crooked Media, hosted by me, Jason Concepcion, and two-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery. From the games to the players to the issues happening both on and off the court, we'll be tackling the important political and social issues happening in sports head on. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so follow and subscribe on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. We got our loud and local band of the week. It's Witch Ripper. It's our loud and local band of the week, Witch Ripper. You want to find out where they're playing, how you can get their music?
Well, their new record's called Homestead. It's out now, and you can celebrate the release of that record next week on Wednesday, October 3rd. They're going to be having a big record release show for Homestead, and you can see Witch Ripper over at the High Dive.
And don't forget, all the info you need, just go to the BJ Miggs page of KISW.com. Sunday nights at 10 o'clock, Kevin's got a great show. It's all local. It's called Loud and Local. 10 o'clock, 2 hours, great music from the Pacific Northwest. Bands like Witch Ripper. It's the weekend, everyone. Hopefully you have fun too.
Blue Friday.
Oh, yeah. Football's going on as well. That's right, man.
Sunday,
man.
College football tomorrow.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, high school football tonight.
Yep, you know where I'll be.
Where will you be?
On my couch.
Okay. I was like, you're going to go to a high school football game, Steve?
I honestly been wanting to go, but I don't know if it's weird as a guy who has no children to just show up to a high school football game and just pick a team and start rooting for them.
Yeah. I always think
with a six-pack and some Jägermeister.
Well, maybe not that.
Yeah.
But well, I think it's a little. I think you got to root for your team, your where you live's team, don't you?
So go Puyallup Vikings.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. And I don't think
they
it's
sell
weird.
Puyallup Vikings gear at the Target in Puyallup.
Well, yeah, get yourself some horns.
Plus, I'll piss my wife off because she's Cascade Christian, and if I just all of a sudden decide that I'm Puyallup Vikings,
fantastic.
Like I just become like a hardcore Puyallup Vikings fan.
Oh, you're right. That is going to be tough. You kind of got to go with since you didn't go to high school here. Yeah, you got to go with hers. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Do it.
Oh, see, I can say go Vikes, but I could be the Curtis Vikings because that's where I went to high school, and then we can both wear helmets and smash into them.
Maybe somebody can we could have them all campaign to have me decide which Puyallup high school team I'm a fan of. None of this sounds right.
It was like that too.
I'm just at home.
You'll be like that dude we had in trying to pick an NFL team.
Yes.
Yeah, you start local, and you can start with the local teams, and then you can build up to the big ones.
Who wants Steve to be their rooter, their supporter?
Yeah, and I could create a posse of us that we all show up like the boosters.
Yeah.
And none of us have gone to that school. We just live in Puyallup, and I'm looking for a reason to drink.
This seems like a
And you're probably going to have to restrict it to the south end because you're not going to want to have to drive up north or anywhere on a Friday night, right?
Yeah, just Puyallup.
Oh, now it's only Puyallup. How many teams are in Puyallup?
There's a lot.
There's
Rogers. There's Rogers. There's regular, just Puyallup. There's Cascade Christian, and that's about as far as I know.
Walker High School. This is a junior high, but I like this one. Ferrucci Junior High School.
Yes.
Ferrucci.
That should be it.
So it says Puyallup and Rogers games are fun. All right, there's the rivalry.
There you go.
Oh, here we go. So it sounds like you have at least 3 high schools in Puyallup.
At least
that you can be picking from. So yeah, I think the 3 high schools need to petition you.
Yeah, submit your petition to Steve at KISW.com.
Who should Steve root for?
The Vikings play in Vancouver today.
Oh,
road trip.
Oh, geez. Good luck with that. Well, before you get your road trip stuff ready, we got to play the game.
All right,
we
fine.
got Trey and Snoqualmie to take on Steve. Trey, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome.
What's he playing for today, Steve?
Ticket to see the Monday Night Raw. The Monday Night Raw with the WWE. It's happening this Monday at the Key Arena. So go to KSW.com for all the details. I'm all caught up in this high school rivalry now.
Dude, I'm so stoked, by the way, to have Alexa Bliss in because I followed her story. You sent me a lot of links. What a story. I mean, my gosh, that girl's life is amazing, and she's so fun to watch in the WWE. She's got skills and really knows how to entertain.
It's insane. For those we have her on Monday at 7:15. Alexa Bliss will be in studio with us to chat about Monday Night Raw, and she battled eating disorders a couple of times. Yeah. And also, she's the sweetest, nicest person in the world in any interview that you see. But when she's a performer in the WWE, she's like the biggest biatch.
Awesome. So awesome.
Yeah, she's great at her character. She's truly one of the best at their characters.
So you got to check it out 7:15 on Monday, but also go to WWE, man, and check
get
it
your
out.
tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Steve, get out of here.
And the cool thing is she's from my hometown.
Hold on a second. What was that, Trey?
She's from my hometown.
Where's that?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio is for killing.
Yeah. You know what, Trey? Then this will be a very, very special time if you can beat Steve.
Well, Steve, get out of here. Yeah. For those playing at home, Trey will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Trey, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I am.
Like Count Chocula, Fruit Brute was a cereal that had which movie monster on its box?
Frankenstein.
No.
Pass.
What volcanic rock floats in water?
Palea?
No.
Pass.
Beginning with the C, what is the common term for a movie theater?
Cinema.
Yes. Hepatitis is the inflammation of which human organ?
Liver.
Yes. The headquarters of the United Nations is in which U.S. city?
New York City.
Yes. Which country music legend released the albums At Folsom Prison and At San Quentin?
The Man in Black, Johnny Cash.
Yes. What was the name of President Ronald Reagan's wife?
Nancy.
Yes. What word is used for the letter T in the NATO phonetic alphabet?
Tango.
Yes.
Nice.
How many times does the word jingle appear in the first verse of Jingle Bells?
3.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 correct.
Not too bad, Trey. Let's see if that gets you to see
score.
some WWE.
Yes, if Steve's distracted by who he is going to root for in the old high school on the high school teams here,
I think it's a great idea.
Make himself a win.
It'll be a shorter series than having to visit all 32 teams in the NFL. But he only has to visit 3.
Someone says my son's a sophomore at Rogers and he lives right by you.
Rogers.
He's definitely has a great future. And if you don't pick Rogers, I'll continually to post a certain Twisted Sister clip. That's from Marty. Now I'm being blackmailed.
Yeah, see, this is tough, dude. High school
competition is going to be
never make the right
very
decision.
fierce.
So he says both my kids went to Ferrucci. Great teachers. Looks like a prison. Go Cougs.
Steve.
So it's the Ferrucci Cougars, I'm assuming?
I don't know. I think Cascade Christian's Cougars, because that was the high school my wife went to.
Interesting.
All right, then we got to figure this out.
And there's Emerald Ridge in Puyallup. It's only 10 years old or so. Go Jaguars.
Oh,
Jaguars.
Nice. All right, so it's our fourth Puyallup team.
See, I think I might have to lean towards the Vikings because at least they sell their gear at Target. I don't want to walk into a high school and be like, "Can I buy one of your shirts?"
Oh, that's not creepy.
No,
That's completely
I got to keep the creep factor down. BJ.
Yeah, you do.
Steve, are you ready? Like Count Chocula, Fruit Brute was a cereal that had which movie monster on its box?
I'm going to go Frankenstein.
No.
Brute. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. The werewolf?
Yes.
Nice call.
What volcanic rock floats in water?
Lava.
No.
Hobbits.
No. Hobbits?
Fire.
No. Beginning with C, what is the common term for a movie theater?
Cinema.
Yes. Hepatitis is the inflammation of which human organ?
Is that the liver?
Yes. The headquarters of the United Nations is in which U.S. city?
New York City, Manhattan.
Yes. Which country music legend released the albums At Folsom Prison and
Johnny Cash.
Yes. What was the name of President Ronald Reagan's wife?
Well, it was Nancy.
Yes. What word is used for the letter T in the NATO phonetic alphabet?
What?
What word is used for the letter T in the NATO phonetic alphabet?
Oh, tango.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another tie.
Kiss your dang sister.
I can't go into the weekend like this.
That was 4 7s in a row.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Trey, you get the tickets, though. That's all it counts because you tied. That's all you need to do.
Yes, sir. 2, 1, and 2 for me.
Nice.
All right.
He's got the lead.
Good job, Trey. Hang on the line. We'll tell you how to get your wrestling package.
And just like the first game, if you would have gotten to the next question,
here we go.
How many times does the word jingle appear in the first verse of Jingle Bells?
3.
Yep.
Stevie, you would have won. Instead, you're a filthy tire.
Filthy tire. The one that you both missed. What volcanic rock floats in water?
I am stumped.
Trey was really close with it. He couldn't just quite get it out. It's just pumice.
Oh, pumice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll never remember that.
Well, that's good. I'll be able to ask that question a little bit later
I feel
then.
like you have asked it before, and that's why I said, oh, yeah.
I might have.
I like this. I just got an email from Joe, and he says, "Go Vikings. Vikings are the way. Rogers are prima donna Bellevue wannabes."
Whoa.
Look at
Shots
the
fired.
smack talk.
This is good. When you start comparing your high school football program to Bellevue, that is not a nice compliment.
fancy.
No, it's not.
No
Not only
cheaters.
that, but that's what Steve. You don't want to be compared to Bellevue.
Oh, already the mudslinging.
So he says, "Meigs, your house is in the limits of Emerald Ridge, so you got to root for them. Their football team sucked when I was there, so good luck with that." Okay.
I'm going to say go Vikings because that's what my mascot was in high school.
You and the Rev.
Yeah.
Lake
Well-
Stevens Vikings.
Yeah, Curtis Vikings.
But Steve, it'll be awkward if you root for the wrong team and then your kid, have a kid goes to high school and it's not your. How are you going to reconcile
I'll
that?
clearly move so that he's zoned for the right school. I have a lot of pride in being a Viking, guys.
Okay, then.
This is fantastic.
All righty.
But it's like, I wanted to go to Cascade Christian. To hell with that. Which is ironic because it's Cascade Christian.
Oh, yes, of course. He will be a Viking for life.
My kid will never be a cougar.
No, he will be a Vike.
Congratulations to Trey on tying Steve.
Yeah, if you tie, you beat Steve. That's how it gets done, man. That's how you win the prize. And now,
Man,
what?
now
What's
I got Sumner's chiming in. They said Sumner Spartans are the greatest, and you should cheer for us and see our badass drum line.
But that's Sumner's a whole different town.
It's just a minute away, BJ.
Yeah, but you still got. I mean, look, dude. If you start including surrounding towns, you're in trouble.
I know.
You
Next
gotta
thing you know, it's
stay-
Eatonville and Graham are going to be chiming in.
Yeah, and look at
I
Eatonville. You can't do it.
No,
you got to stay in Puyallup.
No, I can't go to Graham Kapowson and cheer for them. I got to go through Meridian. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so you got to stay in Puyallup. It's just, it's the right thing to do. You still have 4 schools to choose from. I don't envy you, sir. You've opened up a can of worms that you will not be able to close, brother.
This is tough.
This is a football's Pandora's box, is what you got going on here, son.
I say whoever sends me a size large T-shirt of their school is the one that gets my vote.
Wow, you are easily bought.
I'm going to go to Target. I'm going to get my.
Yeah, but if somebody sends you a shirt, that's all it does to get your allegiance.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, what team are you going with?
I'm not going with anybody. I live on Mercer Island. I got to go with the Islanders. That's where my kids went to school.
We all got to be rooting for Puyallup.
How do I root against the town that I've been living in for like almost 20 years when I've been rooting for the Islanders? How do I all of a sudden say no to them?
For you?
They put my kids in a school and made them not stupid.
To them.
Good. All right. I do have a bone to pick with Mercer Island because I'm supporting these sons of.
Now we got Eatonville saying "Go Cruisers."
Oh man,
I'm torn.
I love the name for Eatonville. The Cruisers. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Do they have like a car or something, man? Like 50s doo-woppers just going up and down a boulevard? Is that their logo?
I don't know. Now we got White River saying the Hornets. That's a pretty cool name.
White River Hornets. Okay.
The Vikings already beat Sumner and Graham Kapowsin.
Oh, so you already got a leg up.
I'm a winner. I'm a bandwagon guy.
Yeah. I mean, whoever's got the coolest logo, I might consider.
See, Pure Vikings produced the Herd Brothers, which turned out to be great Huskies, and I also think Ann and Nancy Wilson went there.
Oh, boy, this is getting better and better.
Be original. Root for the Gig Harbor Tides. We do go to the Tides restaurant in Gig Harbor a lot.
Yeah, but
after church.
People have to understand. You have to at least live the town you're living in. You got to go with that.
This person says, "I used to work with your wife, Steve. I'll send you a size large T-shirt for Bethel Braves." Oh my gosh!
Oh, you're in trouble. Yeah, so you're in trouble. And dude, seriously, how much of a Christian school fan is your wife? I mean, you don't want to piss her off. I mean, did she have a lot of high school spirit, though?
Oh, yes. She's very proud of where she was.
All right. You know what?
I part of the cheer crew and all that fun stuff.
If you're wanting to walk that line, and some husbands like to do that. They go, I can't piss her off in this department, but over here, it's a slight piss off, but I should be okay. You're walking that line, son.
There's just that, it's just a minor trolling.
Yes, I know.
Because I want to see that moment when she comes home and I'm sitting on the couch wearing a Puyallup Viking shirt and see what kind of chaos happens.
Yeah, you won't know until you realize, did this do it? Was this the thing I thought was just going to be simply a simple troll? Turned out to be a chasm.
I might have to change someone says go with Tenino, the Tenino Beavers.
Oh, that is a great name.
And then there's Ballard's Beavers, too.
Yeah, but remember, the mayor of Tenino way back in the day used to be a big fan of the show, so we have a little love for Tenino.
Marijuana.
Good old Marijuana.
Remember him?
Yeah. I remember Marijuana. Tenino. And the Tenino Beavers. That seems like the most awesome town ever.
So it's a screw Puyallup and those bitch schools in that crap town. Sumner rules. Go Spartans. Well, you're not helping me. I live in Puyallup. That's not going to help me change my mind.
It's not getting pretty now. See, you've walked down a freeway. You just, you know what? You're walking the wrong. You're driving the wrong way, baby.
Former Rock Girl Sherry says go with Everett.
Everett?
The Seagulls.
All right, see, that's the problem. Steve will have to drive all the way to support those games. What's that, a 2-hour drive on a Friday night? Yeah, you can't make that happen.
So it says Jerry Cantrell went to Rogers.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Oh, boy. All righty. Okay, man. If you're going to go musically, you might have to think of Aberdeen, right?
Dude, if you're going
to go music, I'm just saying, we're bringing music into it.
Gas ain't cheap, guys.
I know.
Can't keep driving everywhere.
All righty. This is bad.
Someone says you should side with the high school your wife still goes to. Oh, you jerk. Oh, Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Text
have a nice weekend.
Of the week. Chris, can we get Chris a prize? That was a great text.
Typically, I like when Chris texts us.
Yeah, that's a good
Not
prize.
Today.
I like Chris. Chris is, you know what? That was
not today.
That put a smile on this old man's face. All right, it's time for Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Whatever you want to talk about, you pick the topic. You guide the show. We got your calls. We got your texts at 917 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose, brought to you by the Shane Company. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show, 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. Whatever it is you want to talk about, it is up for grabs. Something new, something old, it don't matter. But Steve has a rule that does matter.
And it's to show some energy and bring it, BJ. Otherwise, you will be gone. And we will have to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
We got a text that says, and you guys see the latest episode of South Park? It was crazy.
Yeah, we, of course, played you a little audio of it earlier in the week before the episode aired, and Danny actually threw it out there to a text and said, hey, have you seen this, man? So this episode's nuts, and I made sure to watch it before today. And, yeah, it's sad how relevant it is, and it was about basically how common school shootings are, and the whole episode was about that, where it was almost it was ridiculous how many times South Park Elementary got shot up in that episode.
Oh, yeah, they went over the top, and it's obviously a pretty heavy social commentary. Man, okay, so did you like it?
I liked it because I liked the Cartman arc where he was like a secret agent, and I know there's probably a movie that it was referring to with that music, and I don't know what it was, as he was trying to basically get Token to let him cheat off his math test.
Right.
But I don't know what they were doing. Like, I think I missed their pop culture reference with the music and how Cartman's acting. It was like a secret agent, sort of a stakeout-y kind of thing he was doing. No? Didn't go for the app?
I just feel like they're just, I don't know, man. It just seems like they're going over the top trying to be irreverent, and I don't know. I just didn't get that. I sat there and watched it, and I'm just like, man, maybe this is why I'm not watching South Park anymore. I kind of lost interest in them a couple of seasons ago, and this was my first time trying again. I heard last season wasn't all that great from some people. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, but this first episode didn't grab me. I don't think I'm going to keep watching. It didn't make me want to watch South Park again.
Yeah, I can understand that, Steve, because there's social commentary, and even though they didn't come out and pick a side, I think they picked a side.
Well, I don't even mind that.
And that's the only thing I was bummed out. I think Art shouldn't pick a side. Art should just make a statement.
I disagree. I think Art should be able to pick a side if it wants, because that's what it is. If Matt and Trey have a certain opinion and they want it to be on the show, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I didn't find it very entertaining. Honestly, that was just really what it boiled down to for me.
You didn't like the Token stuff? Because I thought the whole Black Panther thing was funny.
For a second?
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't know, man. That's probably why I don't even like Family Guy, too. Sometimes they just go on these weird tangents, and it's just not...
Yeah, it's funny because I don't watch Family Guy anymore. I don't watch The Simpsons anymore. But for some reason, I still do watch South Park. Danny, what was your take on the episode?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was, it's interesting because I don't watch South Park every season, but then they'll do something crazy like this episode, and it'll get me watching it again. And I want to watch it. I was sitting there thinking, like, I want to write a whole paper on, like, the social commentary they're doing about, the menopause and how the women are interested in it. It was like
the part where he was trying to let everybody know in the house what was going on with his wife.
Randy was trying to basically pantomime, Sharon's got the thing going on, so don't listen to her.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it got me super interested in South Park again this season. It'll be interesting to see if they keep it up, because I've noticed in past seasons they'll do like a shocker episode and then it kind of goes downhill from there.
Yeah, Danny, that's how it was last year. Yeah. They had a couple of good beginning episodes, but then you say, it just tapers off to whatever, unless something amazing happens between now and the end of the season, because sometimes they'll go in and they'll do an episode right now.
Right.
Which they can do because of their animation.
Also, is it weird that they're kind of doing a story arc in a sense? That like usually aren't they like they tackle an episode or an issue and then they're done in an episode for the most part?
I think they started story arcing a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, a couple seasons ago with the whole trolling thing, and it started with that
was last season.
Was it last season?
Yeah, last season was the trolling season. Okay, I believe, and I actually enjoyed that.
Red, did you see the episode?
I did not, because the same thing with you. I've been less and less interested in South Park.
It almost feels like they're like, hey, this is a big issue, we should tackle it, so we're going to tackle it, and we're going to make it weird and crazy, because that's what South Park does, and they dominate at that, but I just didn't feel it.
And I get a little bit of fatigue on shows. Once I've seen a couple of seasons, it's really hard for me to keep going with it.
Yeah, 17, I think. This is their 17th.
Yeah, it's been going on for such a long time. The only one that I've been going that deep into has been Shameless, and that was because I was able to binge all of it.
Yeah. Somebody says you suck, and so is your opinion on South Park, Steve.
No,
South Park kicks ass.
And the trouble is this. There are other really good animated shows out there. You got Rick and Morty. You got BoJack Horseman. I mean, those are the shows right now that are dominating. And for Vicky and I, of course, Final Space with good old Mooncake, which was last year on TBS, which is a fun space show, animated. So that's the thing. There's just other stuff out there. So, Steve, I don't blame you. There's just new stuff coming along that no matter how good an older show is, it's still the older show.
And I went into it. I'm like, maybe this will be the episode that brings me back. Like Danny said, certain episodes will bring you back into loving South Park again. And it was just, everything about it was just not feeling it, except for the whole red.
Yeah. Well, and that was a fun thing too, how a man just assumes if a woman's getting emotional about something, it has to do with her hormones, not about, in fact, the state of society. That is something that women have been dealing with for a long time. And I thought that was cool that they were able to do that.
You know what part lost me? And I know that was just for... I understand where they were going with it, but when they pretended that there was a school shooting to get her to be at the school, and then the musicals part started, and I was just like,
I actually kind of got a kick out of that, because it seems like a stupid guy thing to do to get his wife to think that he loves her, because he doesn't understand why she's upset.
I just felt like, oh man, they've done stuff like this so much.
Yeah,
and I haven't watched this show in so long, and they're still doing this kind of, I don't know, man.
You know what? It could run its course. I can appreciate that. But
Danny loved it. You dug it.
Well, like Rev, though, I love the show Shameless, and I missed all of last season, and this is Emmy Rossum's last season, this current one, and I have no desire to watch it for the same reason. I'm sure it's a fantastic show still, but I've seen it all with Shameless. It's like I've had 7 seasons of Shameless. I'm done.
Somebody says, hey, Steve, I'm a big White Sox fan. You have to look up the story of a fiance of our pitcher airing out their dirty laundry during his Major League Baseball debut.
What?
Bro, I just saw
what
this.
What happened? I don't know this story.
It's insane. So what she did while he was pitching his game, something must have happened where he wronged her, or something happened where she felt the marriage or the engagement is over. Oh. So she went to some of their old Instagram pictures that she posted and changed the caption. So originally these pictures were posted out of love. So you see people commenting, oh, beautiful picture, you guys are a cute couple, but she edited the comments to let people know that this guy's a piece of crap.
Whoa.
So I'm looking, and the guy's name is Jace Fry.
Okay.
And he made his first ever start in the majors. He's a 25-year-old guy. So she puts up a picture, and this is kind of like the first clue of things are about to go downhill quick. It's like a picture of him signing an autograph for a bunch of kids and stuff like that. And she goes, happy first MLB start to this piece of poop emoji.
Okay.
And then says, and she ats him, ats the White Sox, and then says, screenshot these while they last. Then there's a picture of him signing an autograph for kids, and it just says, give that girl over there my number, but don't tell her I'm engaged. So I think he must have cheated on her.
Oh, wow. I think that's low class.
Then there's a picture of him and her at the ballpark, and like she's standing at the row 1 and he's on the field, and it says 26th birthday at the ballpark, wasting another year of my life on this sociopath.
See, that's you know what, that's over the line. I'm sorry, because she hasn't.
Oh, it gets better, BJ.
She hasn't. I mean, it's great for our entertainment, but so far she hasn't said anything about him except that they're just not together anymore for some reason.
Well, we have another one that's a picture of them like smiling and cheesing it up and kissing. It must have been like, it looks like maybe he after he just proposed, and then the caption is, when you think he won't give you an STD again.
Oh boy. Okay. I can understand why she's pissed now. Okay.
Did he cheat on her and give her a...
Yeah, it sounds... I mean, that's the assumption that you get from that. That's the inference. Whoa.
But they still have an active wedding page on the Knot, so if you want to send them something as a, hey, good luck to you.
But here's the shocker, Betty Crocker. We've talked about this before. If you get involved with an athlete that looks like they're on the fast track to getting to the pros, or at least gets to the minor league level, like in baseball, I'm sorry. They do all the traveling. They're athletes. I think you have a great chance that they're going to cheat. I don't know the numbers, but the stories I've heard that none of us ever get to hear, I think it's at least 50% fidelity rating. Really, I would be shocked if it was higher.
I think baseball probably more than any sport, because they're always on the road.
Yeah, dude, you're right. That's 162 games. It's a 6-month season, plus even earlier than that when you do if you do the spring training, and then if they happen to be in the postseason. That's a lot of time to be in different cities, and they got hoes in different area codes. I think you got to know that. And I've talked to wives of athletes before. Hell, Steve, remember we actually had a really, she never revealed who she was, but I used to have battles years ago with this one woman about, the fact that they should be this way. I'm like, dude, come on, really? You don't know that you're a jock is going to go out there and do what they're going to do?
Right.
Please.
And I believe that all ended because of infidelity.
And you aren't getting the payday of, if that jock happens to make it to the bigs, to the NFL, to the NHL, to whatever, that you're not going to make a lot of money being the wife, and even if it doesn't work out, you're going to get half of what this dude has. Come on. You don't think that's... I just am tired of hearing women complain about it when it's right in front of you about what that sport does.
But I think everybody hopes that theirs is going to be the exception. You can't... I mean, you hope... And the person said, I am going to be with you. Didn't say, on the side, though, I'm going to also hook up with these chicks when I'm in Milwaukee and when I'm in Arizona.
See, I'm a savvy dad, and I would tell my kid, listen...
Just don't get with an athlete.
It's just like what they do when they charge you more money as an underage driver, because they know, on average, you may not crash your car a lot, but people your age do.
But just because on average that's what happens, that doesn't make it right.
I didn't say it's right. I'm just saying
that,
you got to know going in.
Right, but I mean, if he's telling her things like, hey, I want to marry you, I want to be with you only, on top of that, he got an STD and gave it to her.
I know that's a bad thing.
Him being irresponsible. So her going off the deep end and doing all this,
in all fairness,
I'm totally cool with it.
You're okay with that. It could be more permanent than a ring. So, I mean, I think really what he was doing was just kind of, solidifying her. Yes.
I agree. Once the STD news hit...
Here's Valtrex.
Yeah, I can see why she's upset, because that sucks. That's with her for the rest of her life. That sucks. If it wasn't the STD, I think that these whatever, the Snapchats, whatever they are, the Instagram posts. Yeah, I think they're over the line. But with the STD, I'm with you, Vicky.
If someone wrongs you,
Dude, it's called a relationship. People will always get wrong.
This is her Instagram page. This is her life.
No, but she's tagging all those folks. I just don't think that's right. I don't mind her putting them up there, but she's got to tag.
Obviously angry, and everyone does stupid stuff because they're angry. And I think of all things, she didn't shoot him. I mean, this is of all the things she did, this is pretty tame compared to what she could have done.
I agree.
She didn't release naked pictures. She could have exposed a lot more.
What's the day that he was pitching, though?
On
the day of my son's.
Oh my God! I ruined your day. You're pitching. You ruined my downstairs.
Well, I agree with you there, Vicky. But in general, at least the conversation Steve and I are having, take out the downstairs ruination, because you're right. If she's got an STD, sorry, buddy, all bets are off. You are that much of an idiot. You deserve everything you get if you're spreading STDs to people. But if it's just a regular, we broke up, or he wronged me, he left me for another, I don't think you need to go on there and trash somebody on social networks. I think that's over the line. If it's just that. That's my opinion, but I'm old.
One person says, this is why I like Tiger Woods. He would never do anything like that.
You see?
From Chris.
Yeah. And he's a champion again. You know why? Because he's dedicated to the sport, not to go into Waffle Houses.
Yeah.
So true. All right, it's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. That is epic, though, dude. Oh, that poor bastard. Do we know how he did on his first game? Did he get destroyed? I have no idea.
That's a great question.
I don't know if he got rocked or whatever, man. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. It is listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. More of your calls and texts at 933 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. Jared and Everett, you are on The Rock.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Jared. Welcome to the show. What you got for us today, buddy?
All right, so not too terribly long ago, you guys were talking about, or your question was, who did you divorce yourself from?
Oh, right, yeah, not necessarily a spouse or significant other, but more like just, somebody in your life, whatever, you just had to say goodbye to them, a friend or whatever. How about you?
Well, all right, so a little bit of a setup here. At the time, me and my wife had this running joke going on. I was going to school to get my CDL. I was going to be over-the-road driver. And the running joke was that while I was gone, she was going to start an all-female harem that she could have fun with while I was on the road.
Nice.
That I could also enjoy while I was home.
Now, this was a joke. This wasn't a real thing.
Right. This was just kind of a running gag.
Okay.
So at the time, now, my family, I have a cousin who is the only person, a female cousin, who's the only person in the family who is in the same age range as me.
Okay.
So grown up, basically a big sister. So I was telling her about this. Next thing I knew, I'm getting a call from my mom that said that she had gotten something from my uncle, her father, saying that please don't invite Jared to Thanksgiving, and if you have, ask him not to come. Apparently, my cousin had taken what we were saying, this running joke, as I'm trying to add her to it.
Ooh.
I was trying to add her to this.
How many times did you talk to her about this? Was it just a passing conversation, like, my wife wants to do a harem when I'm out of town? I mean, I would think that if you were joking, you would be obvious you were joking, unless you kept bringing it up to her.
No, it was kind of like a one-off thing. Hey, this is the plan, blah, 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 and then it never came up again.
It's funny how people take things. If that was just one conversation you had with her, and if you did present it as an obvious joke, isn't it weird how people, they think what they think, and they interpret
like a vibe
stuff
for a while, and that in her head confirmed that you were. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people have this certain assumption, and then something said as a joke. You're like, I knew it all along. You wanted me in your harem.
Well, it snowballed from there because at that point, the entire family started taking sides. So it essentially became the divorce was me and my mom from the rest of the family.
Dude, hold on a second, though.
So they're done with you guys.
Wait, hold on a second. If it was just a silly joke, how did it get this out of control? I don't understand how someone just didn't continually say, dude, we were just kidding. Of course my wife's not going to start a harem. I mean, it was just a joke.
But on the flip side, how often do somebody say something inappropriate and then someone is like, dude, what the hell? And then their instant response is, I'm just joking, even though they're not. So maybe their assumption is like, there he is. He's making it like it's a joke, but we know, in fact, it was true.
Yeah, Jared, as a guy, and appreciate the call, Steve makes an excellent point. You got to look in the mirror as a human being, and I hate to give Steve credit.
You should.
You really got to look in the mirror as a human being and go, okay, what kind of vibe am I giving off? Because that's a lot of drama for what was supposedly a harmless statement. It's a lot of drama. I mean, the whole family not talking to each other and divorcing yourself from a whole family. When there's smoke, there's fire. And you got to look and go, what did I do to cause this? Was I a little creepier than I should have been? Did I always make it look like I wanted to get with that cousin? I have to ask myself that question. Why am I in this ridiculous drama for such a harmless thing?
Think about if word spreads to your grandma and they're like, hey, did you hear that Johnny asked his cousin, another member of your family, to be in a harem? Like, even if it's a joke, it comes off kind of weird.
I agree. And
on the bright side, less Christmas gifts to buy.
Oh, definitely, dude. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I would be like, you don't want to talk to me? This is fantastic.
That would be the Christmas
Thank you.
Or the Thanksgiving gathering that I wish I could be at. When all this falls apart.
Yeah.
And drama unfolds. Because I know it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't throw a joke like that out there ever.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
I'm a guy that likes to use gallows humor, and I've gotten in trouble over it a couple times. But then I had to make the adjustments. Like, you know what, dude, you can't expect people to change. So if you don't want people to be mad at you in the drama all the time, you got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And that's the moral of the story. Now, it's not as big of a moral as this story about Ryan Castle. You heard about this, don't you?
No, I have no idea.
Apparently, Ryan Castle and a mouse have something in common.
They want to have a harem.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but you're going to find out what Ryan Castle and a mouse have in common at 9:48 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. He's the drunk in charge. Now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and a mouse have in common?
I have a short pink tail.
Yeah, that is a true story. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. It's purty.
Mm-hmm.
Steve tries too hard to catch both, was just texted in.
Yeah, it's true.
He's the Tom to my Jerry.
Oh. Yeah.
They both like to nibble on Steve's cheese.
I do like cheese.
And both will do anything for peanut butter.
Yeah.
I do like peanut butter.
Oh, boy. This is not right.
You should see what I do for a Klondike bar.
Oh, I'll tell you what I do for a Klondike bar. Hey, this story blew my mind. They say there's certain things you learn that blow your mind. I did not know that cats don't really care about killing rats. They have no interest in doing that.
Did we just think that because of Tom and Jerry?
I mean, I guess they're mice, but, rats are a little bigger, but still, I would think they would still go after those rats. They'd be like, I'm a cat, I'll kick your ass. But they put up these cameras, researchers set them up, and noticed that the cats were just avoiding the rats. And they only try to get, there was a bunch of days, 306 videos, 79 days. The cats only try to catch them 20 times in that entire span.
Fascinating. I wouldn't say it blew my mind.
It blew my mind. Dude, it blew my mind. All right, well, Ryan Castle, he's fascinating because he has a 12-pack. Go Hawks, baby.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
What is the end result? Like, at least when you say, hey, that dress looks fat on you, that jacket looks too big on you, you can fix that. What am I going to be like, your baby's ugly? I would go visit a plastic surgeon.
Or, go exchange it for another one.
Right. Swap it out.
Usually, though, I'd be like, hey, dude, seriously, there are some cute kids that really are ugly. You're in good shape because he's ugly now, so he's probably going to be good looking. Wow. I said that. That's not good?
No.
That's a thing, though. It's you see the cute babies that grow up ugly.
How did they respond to that?
Well, they were not happy, but that's because they're stupid.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session that an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Love sports? Love culture? Well, I've got a brand new podcast called Take Line from Crooked Media, hosted by me, Jason Concepcion, and two-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery. From From the games to the players to the issues happening both on and off the court, we'll be tackling the important political and social issues happening in sports head on. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so follow and subscribe on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.